Okay, welcome back. Another episode of Go to Realtors podcast, Investment Realtors podcast.
Hello, hello.
Lewis, Justin, Lewis.
Yes, that's us. We're here. We're ready to go.
We are. Yes, we were ready. We were prepping. We were going through all the emails, all the comments, trying to figure out what the next topic was going to be.
Yep.
I guess a lot of the viewers had asked for assignment sales.
Yeah, which is good because we're actually dealing with an assignment sale right now.
Yeah, we dealt with a few, and they seem to kind of get trickier as each deal kind of comes across our desk.
Yeah, never a good fan of assignment sales.
No, they're a little bit tough. I mean, it just kind of goes with the preference. What kind of worked for somebody, 3 years ago when they registered, doesn't necessarily mean it works for them now.
Yeah.
So we'll go through that, what they're experiencing, how it's gone, how it's kind of taken a toll on the client, what they've seen. So what is an assignment sale, Lewis?
What is an assignment sale?
Yes.
So just reading a plain old school definition of what an assignment sale is when a seller sells their interest in a property before they take possession. In other words, they sell the contract they have with the builder to a new purchaser. When a seller assigns a property, they actually are selling the property. They actually are selling the property because they don't own it yet. They are selling their promise to purchase it, along with the rights, the obligations, and their agreements of purchase and sale, and the contract.
Correct.
So basically, when you sell an assignment, you are selling just your entire contract that you agreed with. So, which is like what you said, you're not the same person you were 3 years ago. Now a buyer has to assume everything you agreed to between you and the builder on that assignment sale. So not only are they buying the condo or whatever the new build property is, but they're assuming everything you agreed to in that contract. And a lot of builders, they don't change it. It is what it is.
Yeah, what the rule, everything you were bound for as that seller is what the buyer is going to be on the hook for, and really, I guess more of disadvantage, as I guess you would call it, because I mean, there's a lot of kind of costs and just restrictions that are associated with kind of what the seller's trying to do.
Yeah.
That I don't think, even when they have a lawyer review it, when they write up these contracts, I don't think that majority of the people kind of just understand how intense it can be and what, something as simple as, sure, you can assignment sale, and we'll get into this further, but you can't list it on MLS.
For example,
what does that mean?
So the most recent one we're working with right now, the builder still has about 50 or so units that he hasn't sold yet.
Yeah.
So that alone doesn't give the builder an incentive to allow you to list it.
Well, so we should back up and explain to the viewers.
But just in general, like when you're a builder and you have so many unsold properties, you have no incentive to sell a property that's already sold. That's one. Number two, they know this. Wow. So they put it in the contract that you're not allowed to list it or advertise it anywhere. MLS, any realtor site, nothing. You literally, it has to be in a private deal, person to person, like a neighbor who's looking.
Database or past clients or someone who just strictly specializes in something like this.
Exactly. So you're kind of stuck. Not to mention they have to assume all deposits and any money you put into that condo when you bought it, which is hard to get. People don't even have like 5% to put down as a deposit.
And what you can maybe touch on too is just explaining how when it switches from being an assignment sale to then when it's theirs, and then they can actually kind of have free reign to sell it on MLS or what takes place.
So occupancy,
in order for that to happen.
Yeah. So I think you're thinking occupancy date versus closing date.
Exactly.
So an occupancy day is a day they say before the actual condo is registered.
Yep.
They give you a day where you have to move in. And you have to move in and you have to start paying rent. It's not mortgage. Not mortgage. Your mortgage isn't registered yet. Nothing is, you're not building any equity. You are literally renting your own condo from the builder, paying rent every month.
So you own something to essentially then rent it to the builder who's the landlord.
Yes, until they approve of the closing date. Now,
that's very nice of them.
Different condos have different structures. Some of them wait for a percentage of occupancy before they could close it or register to the town. Some places wait till it's fully rented. Some places, every place has a different way. So if you're waiting You could be waiting in occupancy for a year.
Oh, Jesus.
Like 2 years, renting a place, basically giving your money. Like, you're not building equity. You're not paying down your mortgage. You haven't even started it yet. You're just paying, and it's above market rent. So, for example, the one we're working with right now, they're paying occupancy at $2,700 a month when they could only rent this place out for $2,000 a month. So they're actually paying $700 more a month in occupancy than they would pay if they rented it.
But then somebody could just argue what they bought it for to then.
They appreciated. They did appreciate.
But then, is this something that the average buyer buying a brand new build would know going into this, that these things can transpire?
I don't think they're aware.
Yeah.
I don't think
And so this hypothetical where it was April, it was supposed to be done. So paying rent from October till April. April's pretty much, around the corner.
Yep.
No end in sight. So now April
keep paying.
Is May, June, is it July? Is it next April? And so what do you do? Say you can't afford that rent on top of, now because you've taken apart a little bit of your nest egg where you put the down payment, stuff like that. Like, what happens if you can't afford the rent?
Exactly. Like, what happens? You don't close. You have to
forfeit all that money that you've already invested. I mean, it's
and you're putting deposits on new builds. It's not the same as buying a resale house.
Yeah.
It's like buckets, they call it, and you put buckets of deposits in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. All that money's gone. Let's say you've put in like $120,000 in deposits. You don't even have to put that to buy a house.
Well,
depending what your down payment was, but that could be more than some people's down payment on a property.
It's always tricky because we're kind of in the same mindset where we would rather just buy something resale and have it rented out for the time being. Because a lot of people that buy new builds are at a different stage in their life where they still have time where they can live with mom and dad. They have other arrangements, so it works for them. But we always package it like, even if you don't have to, if you buy a resale, you're automatically building equity from day one on top of somebody else paying for it. So, I mean,
yeah, we did the math.
Yeah. For us, we would just buy a resale. With the new builds, you definitely just want to make sure you have a good lawyer reviewing all your contracts.
Yes.
And just be really aware of those intricate, what does that mean you can't advertise it on MLS? What does it mean you have to rent something? What does occupancy mean? What does registering the condo corp mean? Is this builder a reputable builder?
Yeah.
Have they done this in the past? Do they have a good track record? There's a lot of things. So, I mean, we advise as much as we can on the real estate side and the resale side and things like that. But, something like that, you make sure you're crossing all your I's and dotting all your T's. Did you guys catch that? It's actually the reverse. It's dotting your I's, crossing your T's.
What a silly man.
But, I mean, you want to make sure you don't get between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny you bring up buying a resale first and renting it out. We did the math on another hypothetical where we know, I know somebody who bought a resale, a new build, let's say 5 years ago. And they could have bought a resale condo at the same price 5 years ago. Now that place has just been built. They're just living in it now.
Yes.
And it's gone up. But every other condo they could have bought back then went up at the same price. So appreciation wise, they would have appreciated the exact same amount of money. The difference is the 5 years of owning it while it was being built.
Yeah.
We did the math on what they could have got as a rental.
Yeah.
And they basically would have got about 120 to 130,000 in rent.
6 figures.
6 figures in rent. Just, you would have already had it. You would have already qualified. Your deposits you had to put in were pretty much the same as what your down payment was. Or would have been on a resale, but now you have 5 years of rent and you can move in now. 5 years later, you could have moved in at the same time, built up that equity, and you could have done whatever, right? So
everybody says the crystal ball thing. Of course, nobody has a crystal ball, but you have to kind of be really aware of the decisions.
These are tried and true. These are tried. You know what the advantage I feel, and this is just my personal opinion, on buying a new build condo. If you already have a house, and you're kind of hitting a retirement stage, and you want to buy a condo so that one day when you're done, time to retire, you downsize, you could sell your main house, move into that. In the meantime, it's being built. You could rent it out. You could do whatever. But if you're if you're a first time home buyer and you want to buy a new build or pre-construction, let's say you're 20 years old, if it's not done till you're 25, a lot of things can happen at such a young age between 20 and 25.
That is true.
Where you might want to live somewhere else. You might want to buy something else. You might found a significant other where now you want to move in and you're kind of hogtied by this pre-construction, right?
Yeah.
That's my thinking process.
Yeah, we're kind of both in the same mindset of just we would want to resale. So I guess our biggest takeaway as we wrap up would just be if you're doing a new build, don't think in the moment of, okay, think years down the line. So if they tell you it's going to be 3 years, okay, what you could do is be
think
like,
four.
Think 5. Be like, okay, it's not going to. But if it does, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, and just make sure you have the proper, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's
good guidance.
Yeah. And just make sure you're aware so you can, when you're making the decision, you're fully aware of the pros and cons and which one outweighs which. If you're risk management and if it's like the situations where Lewis described, where it's like, you know what, we're in a resale already, we can wait for this, or I'm not sure, you want to free up money because you can't afford a mortgage right now. Okay, but just make sure you're aware of everything. And don't listen to Compadre Cheech and everybody else because they're not the ones paying your bills. Sure, get some advice, but ultimately be comfortable with what you are doing.
Yeah, and what your plan is in the future.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we'll leave you guys with that. I mean, with that, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions that usually flutter in after we make the video. So comment below, like, smash, call us.
Smash that button.
Email us. Just
call us.
Yeah, well, our number's down below. Give us a call.
Yeah, we love to chit chat all day.
We want to start bringing on fans, but everybody's kind of nervous to sign. We have like a little sign up going, and everyone's scared. So maybe we're gonna bring in one of our coworkers to kind of get the ball rolling.
Fellow realtor.
Yeah, maybe we'll
surprise.
Yeah,
surprise.
We'll the letter C. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.
All right, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.